All right, so it's raining. That happens at Red Power Roundup sometimes. Another thing that doesn't happen very often is I found a man who's taller than me. That doesn't happen very often at all. But I wrote an article about Danny Anderson because Danny had 1086 #1, and that sold at auction, I don't know, going on a year ago.
Last September.
Yeah, and Danny and I got to be friends, and we told stories. You can find the Interesting Iron article on the blog and stuff like that. But as it turns out, that's not the only interesting tractor that Danny had. He's here today with one that's pretty rare. I'll let him tell you about it.
So this is this tractor here is a tractor that International Harvester had built at the time of the merger, and after the formal paperwork took place, they loaded these tractors up from Hinsdale Engineering in Chicago, and they hauled them up to Racine, Wisconsin, and they began the transformation of these tractors. Went from this into the Magnum.
Okay.
So they split the tractor right here at the bell housing.
Yep.
And they took away this entire front end with the DTI 466 and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And they made new frame rails, and they put an 8.3 Cummins in there.
Yep.
And then they redesigned the kind of the 94 series case hoods. They kind of redesigned them into the Magnum hoods. They changed out the rooftop on here. And they changed out the bar axles in the back, and they put the case bar axles in the back.
Yep.
The data center and the the instrument cluster in there is out of the 94 series case.
Yep.
But this tractor was completely done and would have been released at the Farm Progress Show in the fall of 1985.
Oh wow.
So they did the transformation on these tractors, and then they got released in the fall of 1987 at the Farm Progress Show. So that's when the first Magnum came out.
That when they drove them up out of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. So just so everybody's clear, this cab was totally done by International Harvester. They had this thing was all done. And the single door cab, I have the pictures of the original one. And so yeah, so I built this tractor out of a 7130 Magnum and a 5488. The 5388 number is my number I put on there.
Yep.
As far as putting this tractor all together, I took the Magnum back in the 5488 and I rolled out the front end of the Magnum, and I had the 5488 split, and then I just rolled the front end of the 5488 in and stuck them up there and stuck the bolts in, tightened it up.
Wow.
So everybody asked me how I did it. I said it wasn't hard.
Right.
I didn't do anything. I just put it back together,
Right.
like International Harvester had it. I can honestly tell you, last night when I unloaded this tractor, there were probably 5 different guys walked up to me, and they look at this tractor and they're like, man, that thing is this awesome. The first words out of their mouth after they say that is, just think if International Harvester would have come out with that tractor. I said, yeah, they wouldn't have had to get bought out.
Yep.
They wouldn't have had to sell the company because they were this close. And they had the tractor done. It was done. I met the engineer in Chicago when I restored that articulated 7140 for Case IH.
Same guy.
This is the last tractor that he built for International Harvester.
No kidding. I like it. So, well, thank you, man. It was good to run you down.
Yeah, you bet.